expecting them. And then, last year it was what is going on, being able to work with that. And then I thought, well, you know what? We're going into the Cooper anyways. Let's hire an agent.
Harsevoort. Okay, I might have to Harsevoort.
You can do it.
Fluffy thing.
Oh yeah, watch the hair.
Is it out? Come fix it. He was a hairdresser.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Mike, how's mine?
I was like, yours looks
You're
good.
like, you're good. Okay,
Yours
thank you.
is good. Maybe
How's
just here so that you don't have it all like fuzzy on your black.
Yeah,
There
that's
you go.
good.
That's good.
I don't know how my my lips feel dry, but whatever. Hopefully
No,
that doesn't.
they look good.
Do they? I'm
Yeah.
like, hopefully it doesn't resonate. No, I did put some gloss on, so.
I think
You're like,
get
I don't
there.
want to be like,
sometimes I feel like
Hello? You know, like, I hate it. I always find, like, after you're talking, too, and then you get, like, the white. Do you ever get that?
well,
Oh,
it's because
it drives me-
it's saliva.
Saliva.
Clacked in with your lips.
I feel like
It's
when
very
you're-
sexy.
Because I talk too much.
when you wear lipstick too, I feel like you're like super like
I know.
dry and not wanting to lick your lips at all.
And then I
See,
like,
mine's
what?
have long-lasting sound that you have to like scrub
Oh,
off.
yeah. Oh, yeah. That's never good.
No, then you have to put the lip gloss on top
On
of it.
top of it.
Yeah.
Because then it's like moisturizing.
But yeah, then I'm like, ew,
want some
I look
water?
at
Do you want
myself.
some of your water?
No, I'm good right now. We're fine.
with our
You
fake
chew
coffee
your mouth.
mugs.
Oh, I know. We do. I have the same thing. Although we put water in our.
We have bottled
Mugs.
water. I'm
Yeah.
usually Carolyn's here to set this
It's
up.
quite all right.
16.
Oh God.
Good for you. Take one.
Take one.
Take 1,000. I think we're like nothing. We're not even going to be talking about real estate. We're just
No.
gonna
How you doing?
chit chat. Yeah, great. Yeah. So what's new? What are we doing this weekend?
Yeah. How's the home life?
Yeah, right. So let's. You know what? Let's
What's
get
the
into the
drama?
thick of it. We're gonna have a therapy session right now. Like,
Yeah.
Marissa, just pretend she's here.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I love
Could you
that.
imagine?
First half hour.
I love a
Like,
good cry
oh,
session. You know what? Everyone needs to cry.
I do it a lot.
Isn't there a song about that?
There must be.
No.
Everybody hurts.
Yes. Yeah.
That's right. You don't want me to sing no.
Everybody cries.
That's right, yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah. Totally.
I would not hit those notes. I'm a horrible singer. No, actually, you're pretty
I
good.
dabble.
Oh.
I do. Yeah.
We're ready.
Are we
okay.
ready?
Yeah, we're ready. Are you ready?
I guess
right.
so. Here we go.
There we
You're
go.
in charge, girl.
Thank you for joining. I am Kate Broddick, and you are in the vault with the Kate Broddick team. And I am so excited to welcome Rachel in real estate, Rachel Harsevoort.
You caught it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I had to get her to ask her how to pronounce her name just because I don't like botching it. I get
it's fine.
Broddick
Yes.
all the time, even though there's no ER in there.
I know.
All the way from Hamilton.
Yes. Here I am.
Which is not really that far.
It was not far, and it was a beautiful, lovely drive.
And it was a beautiful, lovely drive
Yeah.
from Royal LePage State.
Yes. Yeah.
But you live in Burlington.
I do.
And before we get started, because we are more about a lifestyle and success podcast, we like to really shine light on our guests. Obviously, you have a very successful career.
Oh, thank you.
I think what stands out even more with that from you is your actual socials and your in-person presence.
Mm-hmm.
You're a hugger.
I love hugging.
Yeah, you
You've felt it. Awkwardly in bathrooms.
No, you know what? It's okay though. You know
Yeah.
what? There's some people you want their
Yes.
energy, and there's other
Yeah.
people you're like, please don't touch
Yeah,
me.
totally. Exactly.
But
Yes.
yeah, before we get started, how did you get started in real estate? How long have you been in real estate? The areas that you service, and we
Yeah.
can just go on from there.
Love that. Okay, so I started. Shoot, what year are we? Okay, 2011.
Yeah. 13
So
years.
licensed, 13 years. So started in 2011. I started actually with my oldest brother, who is in real estate.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's a whole other story we won't get into today. We'll save that one for therapy. But that started with my oldest brother as more of a licensed assistant role,
Awesome.
and then I turned into buyer's agent. And then it came to a point in 2015 that it was like, okay, to keep us as siblings
And family.
let's part ways. So
Yep.
end of 2015 went on my own. So I've been 9 years as
Rachel in real estate.
Rachel in real estate.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
It's
so
catchy.
it was, it was kind of like that transition for me. I knew I wanted to be more on socials. I could see at that time. So in 2015, it wasn't crazy yet, the
No.
Instagram. So I could see that coming up, and I just really wanted to kind of be a part of that. And then, it just kind of transitioned from there. So
Have you always been at Royal LePage State?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
You don't get that very often.
Yeah.
13-year career, you haven't moved brokerages.
yeah, I
Good.
love it there. They're like a family. It's a
Awesome.
smaller, so we have I think we're about 350 agents.
We're a
within-
smaller brokerage at 350
Yeah, exactly.
agents. My brokerage, my last brokerage was like 30.
Yeah, okay, so we're a little bigger. We're not, we're in the middle there. Yes. But the Ancaster office, like that's where I started with my brother, and he's still there too. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But it works. It's a dynamic that's weird, but isn't every family.
Yeah, of course.
So anyways, stayed there because it was just like a family, and I love it. And I have people asking me all the time, like, when are you coming here? I'm like, I'm good. I'm
You know
treated
what,
very
though?
well, and I love everyone here. So
I absolutely love that, though, because there's so much brokerage hopping in our industry, and it sometimes can appear, unless there's a cultural issue in terms of like you're not feeling the positive energy or the
Absolutely.
support, which is a thing.
Yep.
But then you see certain agents who've really moved quite a bit, and it's almost like I'm not successful here, so they're going to make me successful.
Totally.
But you've made yourself successful
Yeah.
and very successful because, on top of socials, which we're going to get into, you have a podcast.
I do.
And you started that, was that last year? Or the year
We're in our
before?
second season.
Second season.
Yeah. So year one was last year. Our first episode started, I think it was February. I think we recorded in January, and then
Okay.
it came out February. Yeah. So we're second
Awesome.
season. It's going well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you love it?
I love it. It's really fun. You're doing it. You can probably see how fun it is. I am so passionate about helping buyers and sellers in the sense of like educating them and giving them as much knowledge as I can. I feel for a really long time, I don't know if you felt that way, that we were almost gatekeeping information.
Yes. There was no transparency.
There was nothing.
Yeah.
And I really felt that in that realm, that like we're gatekeeping information from our buyers and sellers so that we can compete with other agents, like where I could be like, I know more than that
You.
person, so come work with me, right? And I'm like, that's kind of disgusting. So
Yeah.
I love that now we're getting into that more like, they're going to find it out anyways.
Yeah.
Really.
Let's give it to them before they find it out.
Right? I'd rather tell you instead of you tell me what you found on House Sigma.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
So that was kind of my reason for doing the podcast. And it's just really, kind of grown from there. And it's been really good for me too. I'm learning a ton.
Yeah.
So I'm having lawyers, home inspectors, stagers, like people that we use within the industry.
Yeah, our collaborative network.
Totally, which you all need. And kind of having them come in, and
love that.
and that's for me. I'm learning a ton.
And
Right?
that's a different angle because
is.
we see a lot of podcasts that have similar to this where we bring agents on.
Yeah.
And that's like a completely different spin because it's really more for the consumer.
Totally.
And even though this can be for the consumer, it's also for our like industry.
Yes.
And not to say that yours isn't, but it's a different approach.
Yes.
And I actually really I admire that.
Yeah.
I
And
love that.
I love the approach you're taking too with the, we're as realtors, right? Like
Yeah.
for the industry.
Yes.
But yeah, I felt there was something missing within that other realm of educating our buyers.
100%
And we all
there is.
do it in a way, but I was like, let's do it as a podcast.
Do you find, and once again, when we were just having this conversation. So when I was opening the Norfolk office, I bought the building because of this space, which is crazy.
Love it. It's so fun.
For this little room.
Yeah.
And because then it's like instantly I was like, I have a vision.
Yes.
And I felt right about it. And then my next feeling was, can I commit to this?
Yeah.
And the time constraints. And I was worried about that.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do something that felt inauthentic
Right.
and something that I wouldn't want to continue on with.
Exactly.
It has been my biggest joy, and I'll tell you why. When do we ever have time to get together with each other? People
Literally.
in our industry and just have like an honest chat.
Yes.
And the approach that I decided to take with it was there's not enough shine thrown
Yep.
at our colleagues. So I thought, you know what? Why not bring amazing agents with great energy who are positively impacting our industry and highlight them?
Yeah, I
What
love
is
that.
wrong with that?
I love you for that also. Can I just say, like, I feel like we've been in the industry about the same.
You're about a year more than me.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
12 years this year.
But like, so it's like you like you just said, you run alongside people, you know people, you see them at conferences, you
Yeah.
say hi, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, to sit and do this and then just to see what you're doing and just taking it to a whole other level of like this collaborative approach and just really,
Yeah.
like I said, like I feel like there was so much competition and gatekeeping that
Yes.
it was kind of gross within the industry, and now I see this light, and you're just like, I love that about you. So
Oh,
yay,
I love
way to
that.
go, team.
Well, you were actually, now that we're on this big love streak
I
with
know,
each other.
let's do it. It's happening.
Kathleen Black, I did
Yes.
the most vulnerable talk of my
Yes.
entire career
Yes.
where I literally had like
Yeah,
no sleep for about 2 days.
yeah, and I wept for about 2 days.
But you know what? It was so hard to
Yeah.
get up there and say, like, I had so much ego, and these are the ways that I had to transform myself. And
Yeah.
that's really hard to get up on a stage and talk about.
Absolutely.
And I was like, just please don't cry, please don't cry,
Yeah, yeah,
please
yeah.
don't cry, please don't cry.
I would have loved it if you did, but
Not in a bad way.
not in a bad way. And like the most like, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. And I came off the stage and I was like trembling. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm literally going to have to feel this for the next couple days. And all of a sudden here comes Rachel flying around when I was with Marissa.
I know,
and
yes.
this big hug. And you make people feel so good.
Aw, thank you.
You're such a cheerleader for our industry.
Thank you.
And I love that about you.
I
And
appreciate that.
now you have a team where
Now
you get
we
to
have
pass,
a
that on,
team.
to,
I
pass it
know.
on to.
So that's wild. Didn't think I would ever be doing that.
Why?
I don't know, because I never looked at myself as a leader, which is
Really?
isn't that interesting? So
Wow.
yes, I feel like there was this like will all make sense as to why I love Marissa as my coach.
Yeah.
But I feel like for so long I was kind of put in this box of like, you're a woman, you're the little sister, you're like the, you know, like you maybe won't do this as well, right? So you're
What
like
a
kind of put,
crazy
isn't that
concept.
crazy? Oh yeah, like you think like it's all like, oh, everything's great and fun, right? But like the
Yeah.
real stuff is like, yeah, you deal with a lot of these things that the industry and people are putting
On
you.
you.
And you
Yeah.
think, well, I could never,
These
I
are
could never
such
lead.
limiting beliefs.
Right? I know, which I know now.
Yes, well, because just for everyone listening,
Yes.
we both were coached with Marissa from the Kathleen Black Coaching and Consulting, and she is the woohoo, loving
Yes.
manifester that helps you heal inside.
100%.
And girl, there was a lot of healing. Like,
Yeah.
I think we said it. I said it on stage.
Yes.
A lot of crying.
So much crying. I know. And we were saying this too. Like Marcy had a session with her and she's like texting me and she's like, so first call with Marissa, she made me cry. I'm like, absolutely she did. That's what we
Yeah,
do.
it's called
But yeah,
healing.
it was the healing. It was like realizing those limiting beliefs. And then from there taking it and being like, you know what? I would be okay at this, right? I would
Yes.
be really good at this. So it started with admin, and now I'm working from there. And I just hired Marcy in October, and she's been amazing.
That's
and we're
awesome.
watching her grow, and I'm just having fun, like seeing her grow. Right? For me,
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, and if there's
But
something I
that's
can
a
do,
testament to
Yeah.
a good leader is wanting to see others shine.
1,000%.
And that's so funny because you didn't think you'd be a good leader,
I
but
know.
you want to share with others.
Yeah.
You want to watch others grow.
Yep.
That's really what a true leader is. It's a servant leader.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think
Wow.
like that's just all kind of come full circle with to the podcast, right? Like, so it's
Yeah.
like you want to see people shine. I want to see buyers and sellers do well. I want them to have a really smooth transaction and for me to be a
Absolutely.
part of that, right? So that's where it's all like, yeah, it's all thanks Kathleen and Marissa.
Yeah. You know
Right?
what though?
Like-
and strong female
yeah.
leaders.
Yeah, totally.
You know, and that's it's a testament. And
Yeah.
I mean, you've had a busy couple years then creating a team,
Yes.
creating your podcast.
Yes.
I mean, once again, bringing any agents on, it's about, you know, meshing. It's like, how do we fit and work? And where's your genius? Where's my genius?
Yes.
And so how do you feel that that's going now with, on top of that, coming
Mm-hmm.
out of the hardest year we had in real estate last year
Yeah.
and now pivoting, the market's leveling out?
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of moves to
It
make.
was a lot of moves. I think what set me up for that, like having the admin, I had hired Izzy about 3 years ago, and then just really working on my systems. You're a systems girl, so I know you love
Love it.
We love a
They
system.
make me hot and heavy.
They're like so. I could say it, but
Can I say that?
yes, I was going to say something way worse. So
I'm like, is that okay?
it's totally okay because I get it. Because life can't work without our systems,
No.
right? So starting that and then really kind of perfecting them. And then, last year it was what is going on, being able to work with that. And then I thought, well, you know what? We're going, into the pooper anyways.
Yeah,
Let's hire an agent.
Yeah.
Why not? Everything's going for crap anyways. Let's do it. So it was just like, it was, and I was also at that point where I needed to start leveraging, right?
Yeah.
So I was at a point where for me, I was missing out on my family time and whatever, because I was so busy, and it was like, I need to start passing some of this off, and just knowing that there's people that are much more capable than I am at certain things.
It's a big realization.
It's huge, right? So once I kind of got over that, and that's that whole, ego sort of thing, once I kind of worked through that, then it was like, this is absolutely how we need to do this.
And now how's it running with
it's been
another
amazing.
agent?
Yeah. So with Marcy, again, like that's been amazing. And we're just, she drove with me here today, and here we are like an hour chatting away about, all things not real estate related, right? So it's like when you have that
But that's
connection
great.
too, and I have that with our admin as well, like that it's just, we sit at literally we sit at my kitchen table for team meetings, and like
There's absolutely nothing wrong with
it's
that.
awesome.
It's amazing.
We come in our sweats and coffee
Yeah.
and no
Not
makeup.
full glam.
No full glam. Jeff will like walk in the house and be like, what's happening here? But like it's just such a nice, I don't know, it's just a nice environment, and I really like it. And you know how it gets in real estate, it can be very lonely.
It's incredibly lonely.
Right? So just to have those people that are there to really walk alongside you in some of the stuff, and then for you to be there for them too, right?
It's a two-way street.
yeah.
And sometimes when we talk to agents, or I've had agents approach me even just to be on the team, and, it's what can you do for me? That's not the question to be asking. It's what can we do for each other?
Exactly.
Because the team leader isn't responsible for your motivation, your consistency, and what you bring to the table. That's a you thing.
1000%.
So you need to show up every day too, right? So culture is huge, and having whether it's a large team or a small team, you have to jive.
Yes.
Like,
big time.
You have to jive.
Yeah. And if you don't, like, be okay to be like, we don't. See you later.
Yeah,
right?
but
Like,
part
this
ways
isn't-
respectfully. That's fine.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now a couple things that I want to ask
Okay.
you. The first thing is you were in the business since 2011.
Yes.
And it was in just now that you hired your first agent last year in October.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, once again, like you're a decade plus into your career.
Mm-hmm.
Was it just the leveraging that created that? Or was it the fact that, I need more for me?
A bit of both. Actually,
of
that
both.
I love that you asked that, because it was definitely the leveraging, right? Realizing where your genius is and where it's not.
Yeah.
But it was like, for me, like, where is this going to bring me into better situations in the community, in my family life, in my church life? Like, we're, really active in that. So it's like, if this can create more opportunity for me to be present in those areas more, then like, let's do it. Let's hire 12 agents, right? I'm not going to.
No, Marcy's like, what the hell?
Yeah. You said what?
Yeah, we didn't talk about that out there.
Like, I'm out. See you later, right? But I think for me, it was just like, you know what, this will help me in the things that I love to do, right? So again, it just kind of went from there. It was, okay, we need somebody to do things better than me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not good at everything.
Yeah.
Figure it out, Rachel. You cannot do everything.
Yeah.
But then also, how can I like serve in other ways?
Yeah.
So that was a huge thing.
It really is. From my perspective, I can't speak for you, but the reason, like, I started a team year 3.
Yeah. Crazy.
It was nuts. And honestly, shame on me, because I probably shouldn't have. But
whatever.
Like, I literally was like, even though I was like selling at a ridiculous volume, I needed more leadership skills in myself.
Yeah.
And but you know what? I can say I learned from that. And I look back, and I'm not ashamed of what I did, I think just more so, I wished I had waited a little bit more.
Big time.
To pour into myself so I could pour into others. But then that's where coaching came in. So that's actually my next question
Yes.
because we both coached by Kathleen Black, coaching and consulting, both have the same coach, Marissa. And so when I joined that, and I'm going to put this back on you because I genuinely want to hear, and it's not meant to be like a sappy thing. And
No, I love it,
it
though.
might hit in the feels, but
Am I going to start crying?
you know what?
Maybe.
We'll just have a healing session.
I
It's
love
totally
this.
fine.
Yeah,
We'll just
totally.
dim the lights,
I
shut the
was gonna
camera
say.
off. It's totally fine. Wouldn't be something I haven't done.
I know, right? Totally. I'm here for it.
Yeah. But I actually hired coaching not for real estate,
Interesting.
which sounds crazy. I had a lot of things that I needed to unpack in a 10-year career that really weighed me down.
Yeah.
It was an exhausting, as joyful and blessed and grateful as I felt,
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot of things being, basically birthing, breastfeeding, raising 3 kids
Yes.
from literally from the conception of my career
Yeah.
to it just the trajectory was straight up.
Yeah.
Some of the negative things that come in our industry.
Big time.
So it really did affect me, and I didn't realize that until probably about like 2020, 2021.
Okay.
I think I started with Kathleen in 2021. I can't
Okay.
remember now. And so I wanted someone to be able to help me navigate those things so I wasn't pouring that back out on the people around me.
Yeah.
So, because the other stuff I felt great about.
Yeah.
So how did you land, Marissa?
Yeah. So funny you say that. Like, okay, I would say the exact same. I mean, not the exact same, but like it was very similar in the sense that my mindset was
Yeah.
so far. And like, as I had said earlier, like I was in a position that was like, not that it was like abusive by any way, but it was like, no, you can't be as good, or like
Yeah,
you're
those
like
limiting
you'll
beliefs.
never make it. Those limiting beliefs, right? And I started to believe them, and I
Yeah.
was really believing them in my career. And I would look at other people, I would look at other agents,
Yeah.
and be like, they're so much better than me. Meanwhile, I'm doing all these deals. I'm transacting
Exceptionally well in a very saturated market.
crazy, and that. But like what your mind can do,
Yeah.
in the sense that, so I'm believing this stuff. Meanwhile, I'm transacting more than those people, and I'm doing this, and not that I'm like, hey, look at me.
No, I don't feel
But
that at
it
all.
was that belief that I wasn't good enough to do what I do, and then that belief that I'm not good enough, but like I can't praise myself.
Yeah.
Either, right? So that was like a huge thing for me. So same thing, I came into coaching. I had a friend of mine in my office who had been trying to get me to go see Kathleen for years.
Yeah.
Mike Heddle.
Oh, Mike's amazing.
So
I have so much respect for him.
Right? So Heddle, and then Luke O'Reilly.
Another great one.
Right? And they were just like, what are you doing? Like, and I'm like, yeah,
And
you're
these are
right.
men.
These are men.
I love that.
Right? And that's where
Such
it's like
supporters.
you see the support, right?
Yeah.
And that for me was like, okay, finally. And then after like discussing my business plan and stuff, like I needed a bit of help with my
course, we
systems.
all do.
Right? So it
Yeah.
was a bit of that, but in that first session, I don't remember who I talked to, and it was like, this is what I'm thinking. And then like my first call with Marissa, I'm like, yes, that's why
This
I'm with
is
you.
her.
Yeah. And she has broken down some crazy stuff for me, and I've sat on the phone crying
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, we're going to talk about our budget today, and then the next thing you know, we're
Yeah, you're all of a sudden like up into like space in your higher self.
that QTR, man. It was
Quantum
amazing.
time
Oh, I
release.
loved it.
Literally, I can't. I was like, where am I? Seriously, what spaceship did you send me on?
I know. I'm like, I'm not even.
But
like,
everyone needs to address
Yes,
that.
totally.
That's the thing. And so many people are so afraid to look at their inner demons and the things that actually hold them back.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's like, why?
I know.
We're all a work in progress. We all have healing to do. It doesn't mean we have these traumatic childhoods or
And
anything.
that's the thing. I know. And that's what I mean. I'm like, I grew up in a very stable home, still stable, and like, there was some stuff when I was working with my brother and whatever. And it's like,
But
okay,
it's
but it's life, and it's normal. I have, like a very good life.
Yeah.
So why so it's just coming to those realizations. And then getting over that like imposter syndrome feeling,
Yeah,
right?
that's a hard one
It
in
is
our
a hard one, and
industry.
I still struggle with that. Like
Everyone does, me
it
included.
is like major, right? That
It's-
every day, like you said, we're all works in progress. But
Absolutely, we are.
yeah, but it was definitely the mindset for me as well that got me into coaching. And like I thank God every day for Marissa, because she's brought me to where I am now in
Yeah.
2020. What year are we?
2024.
Hokey doodles.
We're actually a third of the way through
When
this
did that
bloody
happen?
year.
When did that happen?
I have no
Right?
idea. I sneezed and it was March.
I
and
know,
then I
like,
sneezed
what?
again and now it's almost May. It's crazy.
What? I know. So yeah, it was definitely a godsend in my business, and then it filters out, like you said, it filters
Absolutely,
out
it
in
does.
your life.
Your kids.
Oh man.
Your husband.
Oh yeah.
Partner, spouse.
Jeff loves when I talk therapy. Like he's just like, yes.
He's like, thank God for Marissa.
Yeah. Yay! She's not crazy. Yeah, exactly.
No, you're not at all. You know what? I think it takes a lot of courage to address the things that people don't want to address, because sometimes it's hard to look at the ugly in the mirror,
I know,
right?
big time.
And so I think, anyone who's on some kind of journey just to be better,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that it has to be work related or personally related. It can be an intermix of both, which
Yeah.
I found out was very
Right?
true.
I know.
But you know what? Good for you.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
I wanted to lead into that because I actually have a little story about you that
Okay.
I'm going to tell you.
Ruh-roh.
No,
We know-
it's not
we know-
good. It's
Okay.
not. It's not bad at all. When I first met you, you were wearing that beautiful, vibrant fuchsia dress pant and
Okay.
Pantsuit.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, and we had just met, and I think it was through the connection through Shauna.
Yes.
You knew Shauna.
Yes.
Shauna's my makeup artist, and
Yes.
we love her.
Yes, we
and
do
so,
love her.
And she was always talking very highly of
Aw.
you, and that she did your makeup,
Yeah.
and like, oh, I think Rachel's going to be at this conference, and you
Yes.
should say hi to her.
Yeah.
And so when I saw you, I remember you thinking, oh my god, are you saying to me, oh my God, like I'm so nervous. Like, how are you not nervous? But like the thing is that I was nervous because I think you were talking, I was talking, you were on a
Yes.
panel, I think.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and it was just like an energy exchange of like, I don't maybe always show it,
Yeah.
but you were very visibly nervous.
Yeah.
Fast forward now,
Yeah.
a year later,
Yeah.
I see you again at a conference.
Yes.
And I can tell you right now, and I'm going to say this, and it wasn't because what I saw the first time was bad at all, but what I saw a year later was so much growth,
Aw.
poise, confidence, authentic.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry now.
And I think you just literally owned it.
Thank you.
And that to me is one short year from someone who was like, oh my God, I'm so
I
nervous.
was like
to
terrified.
someone who literally walked up that and strut the shit out of
Aw.
that stage.
That means so much. Like actually, I'm gonna like cry.
I hope you feel that.
I do, and that has been a lot of that work. And and
Like, I really
yeah,
hope you feel
I
that.
do. Thank you.
Because it was like, I was like, oh,
Who is this chick?
did she have a shot of tequila?
I know.
It's like, this
probably
is like.
did, but, like, it was at
there's
10
no
in the morning, I
judgment
did
at me.
not.
No. But
No.
I literally was like, it was such a transformation in just your energy and your poise and the way you held yourself. And I don't want that to make it sound like it was bad.
No,
But I could tell that you were very nervous.
I was like, even it's funny that you say that, because I remember that moment and like being up on the panel, and I was like chatting. I don't even remember about what. And I was like,
That's okay.
I almost started crying because I was that nervous, right?
No,
like I was just like, oh my goodness, right? And I went off of that, and then, yeah, same thing. I do remember feeling so much
Huge.
better about being on a panel this
Yeah.
year than I was. Yeah.
And that to me shows in 365 days what an amazing transformation in yourself and your
Thank
own
you.
confidence.
Thank you.
And I think probably the podcast
Yes.
helps with that too.
100%.
Growing a team,
Yeah.
right? These are all
Yes.
positive things.
Yeah.
So I just look at that and I think, you know what? We need our industry to be more of like, congrats to you.
Thank you.
You did a really great job, honestly.
you,
I
Kate.
was really proud of you.
Yeah, thank you. Oh,
So, yeah.
dang. I didn't know I was going to be crying at noon on a Tuesday.
But you know what? I
Yeah.
appreciated you coming
you.
in, like, just like holding me after I got off the
But that's
stage.
because it's like, I think that's what resonated so much for me, is that like what you were, I mean, obviously our situations are going to be different,
Of
but like a
course.
lot of what you said
Could feel
resonated.
it.
Yeah, it resonated with me. And those were a lot of those same things I had to work through to get to where I am.
Yeah.
And you know the breakdown that it takes.
It's hard.
Yeah. And then you still have to break it down every day, right? Because
Yeah.
you still have people coming at you and being like, you were too confident. You were too,
Yeah,
poised
but
and whatever.
No,
but
no. I if anything, I look at that and I think, wow, because a lot of people could turtle and move away from that situation. Whether it was uncomfortable or not, you barreled through it.
Yeah.
And then
I think a lot of tequila came after
that's
that
okay
panel.
though. You know what? I also slept for a couple days after the ego one. I was like, oh my God, I can never show my face in the real estate industry
right?
again.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
just because it was so vulnerable, right? And it's hard to be vulnerable.
It is.
But
It was beautiful.
I mean, for me, looking at you now, I actually go to your socials.
Oh, thank you.
Like I seek you out.
Yay.
We were standing out there and I was like, oh, look, it's Rachel. Because you come up on my feed because the
Thank you.
algorithm knows I really like
know.
you.
Aw, right back at you. I know.
So you got great socials.
Thank you.
You've got this team building. You've got your podcast. You're going to conferences and speaking and sharing your own genius. You're seeking out the genius of others through coaching to help you.
Yes, big time.
What's on the horizon for you in 2024? And what would you say to a newer agent coming into this industry as a female entrepreneur? Ooh. What would be the advice you would give her after a decade plus of being in this business?
Oh, wow. Okay, so we'll start with the year 2024. I just hope we make it through. With a little bit of sleep. Yeah, just get me through. No, we do have some really exciting things. So I think in terms of business, it's seeing the team also kind of evolve in certain ways. So I had hired another admin. So I have 2 admin and now Marcy. So just really creating roles that really fit for that and some cool things. We're also looking at am I even allowed to say this? Like we're looking, I don't know. You heard it here. You heard it here first.
I love the tea.
We're looking at hiring kind of a creative director as well.
Wow.
So yeah, kind of like how you have your, so we're looking at.
I love that.
I know.
Jamie's for sale too. We do pimp him out.
Do you? Okay. All right. So just looking at a few different directions with my content.
I love that.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about that. And that was like, that to me has been on my goals for a long time. So now it's just like, okay, now I can, we're at this point in my business where now I can do that, right? Yeah. So that's going to be exciting. So that's kind of, and yeah, we're hoping to just hit our goals. Marcy has her goals, which she's well on her way.
Amazing.
And myself for transacting. So things are looking great. We're on we're on that horizon to, I mean, it's funny because we all have our accolades and stuff like that. It's nice to have them, but it doesn't really mean anything. I just want to help people.
You know what? No title is ever going to top just being a good person and wanting to help others.
Exactly. Right? So it's really like, doesn't. We can be like, I'm blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we dropped it at Revel.
All the time, right? Like and it should be.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that. But yeah, it is, knowing like, okay, in my office and in like the industry, you just want to be respected, right? And that's for 1000%. Me, like, I think that's okay. Yes. So if that's a goal, then that's kind of what we're on.
I think at the end of the day, if you can lay your head down on the pillow and know that you're respected versus you just like chum down 10 deals, but lacked respect from any other agent, I think I'd pick number 1 every day.
Yeah. And exactly. So that's like our main, I would say that's our main goal for 2024.
I love that.
Just I do keep my nose to the ground a lot and just like try not to listen to the noise because that starts to get me, right? So yeah, just keep doing that. Advice, oh man.
I know it's always a humdinger, especially when you talk about female.
Humdinger.
Yeah, because it's like, wow, how do I sum up 13 years of crazy into like one piece of advice?
It's funny too. So I actually had someone reach out to me. She's in high school and she had reached out to me and asked me to answer questions like this. So I literally just answered like 4 questions about real estate. This. I did say don't do it. No, I'm just joking.
Pick another career.
Yeah, exactly.
Run for the hills.
Do you like sleep?
Yeah.
How about anxiety?
How do you manage stress?
Yeah. Literally. So other than being a complete Debbie Downer, I said, if you want to do it, go do it. But her question to me, one of them was, what kind of advice would you get? And I will to this day say, get the coaching right away. Mm-hmm. Get somebody, whether it's coaching in terms of your systems or coaching in terms of your mindset, do that. Set yourself up. As you said, we cannot be good leaders if we are not right up here. Yeah. If you want to lead in this industry, even if you don't want to lead in this industry, if you just want to survive in this industry, you need to have your head right. And I would say that would be my biggest piece of advice. Just start with the coaching right away.
Yeah, like someone who's a good mentor.
Yes,
someone you respect.
totally. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. It doesn't have to be a Canada-wide coaching
Or it could
company,
be.
or it could be.
Yeah.
Or it could be, like if you do just want a mentor and someone that's willing to walk alongside you. But yeah, I think if I had done that many moons ago,
I would agree.
I would be not even further along in my career because I feel very good where I am,
Yeah.
but just further along in my relationships.
1,000%.
yeah.
And those are your most important things in your life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? Or even just the relationship with yourself.
Big time, right?
Right? I agree 1,000. Like literally, if I could smack myself, I would have been like, go and do the things that you need to do to feel good.
Exactly.
That's it.
And then from there, you're going to shine exactly like you had said, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just from there, then you can be better for everybody else. And I do. I want to
Yes.
be better for everyone else. I'm good now. So like, let's make the world a better place.
Yeah.
That sounds so. Is that a line
That is
from
a song.
something?
Wait, we were singing before. Oh, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
what was the song?
Oh, Everybody Hurts.
Oh, yeah.
REM.
God, what is
Because we
wrong
were
with
going to be
us?
crying.
That's
So
right.
now we're from crying and now we're making the world a better place.
That's right. Oh my God.
Oh, dear.
Well, you know what? I have to say, like, I love your energy. I love
Thank
your
you.
smile. I think when you walk into a room, I don't know if you know this about yourself, but you come in.
Really?
Yeah, in a beautiful way.
Thank you.
And not in like an obnoxious way.
Okay,
Maybe I should rephrase that. You come in and you feel your presence, you feel your energy. You're a
you.
very positive soul.
Thank
and I'm
you.
so grateful that you made the drive out to.
Oh.
You've driven through here before.
Oh, yeah.
You said.
Yes, I used to do
Port
a lot
Burwell.
in Port Burwell.
Yeah.
And then did a few model homes in Waterford.
That's right. Oh, yeah, you were
way back
saying
when.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then you know the area.
I do.
So hopefully you know.
I love it.
Knew how to get here and you were
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
Perfect.
Back roads all day long.
Back roads all day long. That's another song. Take
Yes.
the back
Oh, man.
roads.
We're so good.
Yeah, we're so
Are we doing karaoke later?
I know. You don't want me to do karaoke.
I do.
Yeah. Well, you'll probably be like, oh, God. You know what? Kate sells some more real estate.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
if we had to find you, well, I know where to
Yes.
find you.
Yes.
If they had to find you, our audience, where would be the best place to go?
Yeah, so my social Instagram, I feel like I'm most present on.
Yep.
Someone needs to get me on TikTok still, but
I'm slowly creeping.
Slowly, I'm there,
Scared.
and then I hightail it out of there immediately. Watch a few makeup tutorials, and then we're out.
Yeah, that's right.
But on Instagram, I'm very active at Rachel in Real Estate is my Instagram. And then we also have the Smart Move podcast. We have a
Yes.
Instagram account for that, not as active, but
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
People wanna
I would
hear what you
say,
have to say.
yeah, Instagram is at Rachel in Real Estate.
So that's it. If you want to find Rachel, I would say go to your Instagram
Yeah,
page for sure.
for sure.
And we will tag that on the screen. And once again, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, and thank you for coming. And that was a lot
lovely.
of fun. I felt like we should have just had like a glass of wine there.
I know.
But
Next
tune in
time.
next month. We have actually some Revel guests.
Ooh.
Yes, it's the first time since Ryan Sorvelli that I've brought on Revel because I got to love on my people too.
I know, you do.
And I've got great leaders.
Yes.
So make sure to tune in and listen on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and all the other places that we host this podcast.
TikTok.
And I also never ever remember that last line, so we good.
Yay.
Yeah.
And you pronounced my name right. Yay. It's a win. Thanks.
That was very cute.
Thank you.
I
That was
loved
so
that.
fun. That was
I
great.
loved that.